To American Black Journal, I'm Stephen Henderson. For the past 32 years, the Coleman A. Young Foundation has made it possible for Detroit students to get a college education. The city's late mayor established the foundation to provide scholarships and mentoring to young people with leadership potential. More than 460 students have been recipients, and 90% of them have graduated from college. Here to talk about the foundation and its upcoming awards event is Executive Director Kari Turner, and joining him is one of this year's scholars, Ian McNeil from Loyola High School. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thanks for having us. Good to see you again.
Absolutely, good to see you again. I think when people think of Coleman A. Young, you can say that name and get an instant response from everybody in this region.
No gray
Good,
area.
bad, not a lot of gray either. Yeah. I don't know that a lot of people necessarily associate that name, though, with the scholarship fund, which really is the biggest part of his legacy, or the most sort of tangible part of his legacy.
And they don't, and it's interesting that Mayor Young, one of his greatest accomplishments, according to his own opinions, was the establishment of the foundation.
Of the foundation, yeah. Sure.
He wanted us to get to the point, Stephen, where when we get to this day, 17, 18 years after his passing, we could look at young people like Ian and see him.
Right.
He ultimately wanted his impact on the city to be personal, and fortunately, we've been able to keep that going for 32 years.
Right. And so, Ian, you're one of the new scholars. You're a senior at Loyola High School. We should say a wonderful Jesuit institution where Of course, I have no bias with regard to that. Both Kari and I, of course, are graduates of UOD Jesuits.
You know it.
We're big fans of Loyola. Tell me, though, about your involvement with the Scholarship Fund, what that means, and what you're doing next year.
Well, it means a lot to me because it's helping me to pay for college. It's going to help me pay for Tuskegee University. That's where I'm going next year. And I got to type in some essays how I am a leader. So for me to look back on the essays, I could see, wow, I have achieved a lot. I am a leader.
Yeah. So tell me about some of the things you put in those essays.
I put in the community service hours I do first. On Thursdays is Beaumont Hospital. It's an LWEP experience, so it's like I went there and I got to go off of different people's attitudes. Like I got to meet different people, how they think Detroit is. So it's like sometimes you don't really run into the happy Detroiter.
Yeah,
it's different. And then every Tuesday I'll go to Jesu, and I get to help the little first graders. Yeah. So it's pretty fun there.
I went to Jesu.
Yeah, see, it's a pretty small community, right? So this event on next Tuesday, annual event, it's the big fundraising opportunity for the foundation.
This is our big deal. We get a chance to recognize Ian and about 16 other new scholars. Ian's scholarship has been provided courtesy of DTE Foundation, and there's a special emphasis on participants in the DAPSET program, Detroit Area Pre-College Engineering Program. They're neighbors of ours. We're in the same building, and it's nice to be able to recognize these young people. But this is also our clarion call to the community that we're still here, we're doing the work, and we need the support. Right. Most of our funding comes not necessarily just from foundations and corporations, but also from
individuals.
Right. And we believe that if more people know about the work that we do, that the foundation does, and the fact that we're literally helping students who are coming from different states of hardship to lift themselves and their families out of poverty or out of other states of struggle or despair, then more people would be willing to get behind that. Because these are the young people who are becoming the Stephen Hendersons of the community, and 60% of those 90% graduated are coming back to the city.
Right? And that's one of the emphases of the scholarship program.
Exactly, exactly. So it's a real investment into the future of the city and its leadership.
Right.
So I'm honored to be at the head of it. I thank Mayor Young for creating something that's given me, a career that I can place passion into, and we just continuously ask the community to get behind us.
Right. What's the reaction you get, though, from people when you say we're the Coleman A. Young Foundation? I would imagine that there's some people who hear that name and have the reaction that a lot of people in this region still have.
Well, Stephen, I'll share a story that wouldn't be a surprise to you. There's always an initial reaction of either admiration or aversion. However, this is the thing about Mayor Young that people don't know. Beyond the politics, this man took his last $3 million, gave $1 million to Wayne State to create a professorship position.
The endowed chair. That's
the endowed chair. And the other $2 million created the platform endowment that created this foundation.
The scholarship fund.
So he died with very little to his name.
Right.
You know, that flies in the face of what most people think about him.
Sure.
And as a result, he's created this wealth of talented young people, almost, you know, going on 500, that have been able to get to and through college. We don't just give them the money, we mentor them all the way through, and then they come back as our alumni and get involved. The people who interviewed Ian, 7 of 8 of them were our alumni.
Were other kids who had gotten scholarships.
Yeah, so they come back and they help us to uphold that standard.
Yeah.
So, you know, once we talk about that, the negative opinions of Mayor Young have a way of just fading away. Because he put his money where his mouth is ultimately.
The mentoring part of this is a huge part. You've got to be looking forward to sort of being part of a community by getting this scholarship.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to meet with the other kids who are receiving scholarships this year?
In the interview room, I met some of them from Cass and everywhere else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I met them. I don't know which ones have won the scholarship.
Right. Tell me a little bit about how things are at Loyola. Again, a place that's pretty close to my heart. It's good to see somebody from there getting this scholarship and going on to school, but that's a special place, not just because of the education that you're getting there, but the service component, which you talked a little bit about.
Yeah, it's we have a lot to do in the city of Detroit. A lot of community service. All seniors would do, juniors, sophomores. Everybody gets together, and Loyola's like a family-based school. It's very small. It's not like UAD, but it's very small. It's I was happy moving from Florida to come up to Detroit and go to Loyola because I felt like it's more fitting for me. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah. The mentoring part of this program, how does that work for the kids once they're in it? Once they're in school?
It's hardcore hands-on. So Ian's going to get a Facebook request from me personally. Facebook, UVU, phone calls, emails. We require our students to turn in 3 progress reports per semester.
Okay.
Signed by their professors. That's how we track academic progress. So it also positions us to respond if there's any hint of trouble or a need for extra support. And then each scholar has to do 10 hours of community service, either with the foundation or something reported to the foundation. So we know that you're not just at school not using your time to the best of your ability. We want you to be involved and active. There are network events for scholars when they come home. And then at times we also help them to find internships, you know, so that when you come home during those summer months, you know, we can help a guy like Ian.
To do, sure.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe he wants to go and spend a summer working in someone's, you know, person X's office and learning the nuts and bolts of what he's studying to do later on. So that's pretty much how it works, and as a result, that's how we make sure that 90% of these.
Yeah, I was going to say that has to have a lot to do. With that 90% graduation rate, and that is that is the thing that we struggle with, particularly in this city, with young black males going to school and finishing. They'll get in and they'll start, but they don't get through. And the 2 big reasons are what? Money and support. And you guys are really focused on both of those.
Exactly. And you know, the thing that we found, Stephen, is that once you take someone who's already experienced some form of adversity prior to college and just kind of stay close to them, by the time they encounter those issues that come up in the transition to collegiate life, they're ready to handle it, you know, and all they need to do sometimes is have someone that they know they can call on, you know. So, hey, Kari, how would you handle this, you know, and we talk about it, and we don't try to give them the right information. We try to mentor from the heart and from our own experience. You know, my managers on my staff are Coleman Young alum. You know, so we're all vested
Right.
in this thing.
A lot of skin in the game.
Exactly,
right?
a lot of skin in the game. So, you know, this is passion work. You know, we're tied to it, and our I should say that our graduation rate is almost a third, 30% higher than the state of Michigan's.
Yeah.
Which is hovering around 62%.
Right. Right.
So we're really proud and very protective of that. So, you know, Ian's going to be hearing a lot from us.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you thinking about studying? At this
Architecture.
Architecture. Wow, that's a long haul. You'll be in school a while.
5 years.
5 years, right? Yeah, no, that's very good. Well, I have to say I'm a new board member of the foundation,
Indeed.
so
Thank
I'm
you.
really proud that I was asked to do that, and I'm really proud of you, Ian, for
We're proud to
what you've
have you.
achieved. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.